with that introduction into my heartwarming world, I'll move right on to Sporty Spec. Sorry, no, it took Spec. The point of the anthology was to deal with the fantastic, whether it's in horror, or whether it's in science fiction, or whatever genre, or mixed blend of genres you want. The only thing was that it had to involve a sport. And the sport, if sport it is, that I chose was hunting. And this is called Prey, P-R-E-Y. I knew he was a god from the moment I found him, but which one remained uncertain. He was not above accepting my help, and he made no claims to anything. I knew at once that he was neither the bombastic god of abundance, nor the bellicose god of war. There was no cleverness or trickery in his manner of speaking, ruling out the possibility that he was the god of reason. He was too well fed and self-contained to be the god of mercy. His moods had no effect whatever upon the weather, so I knew that he was not the stormbringer. But I am getting far ahead of myself. I found him sitting on the end of a park bench watching the sunrise above the city towers. He looked up and saw me for what I was, a hunter. "Another moment for your collection," he said quietly, and smiled. I said nothing and sat down respectfully at the opposite end of the bench, leaving a wide space between us. The sky was still the deepest possible shade of velvet night blue, with only a line of crimson sizzling at the jagged edge of the world, where the skyline fell far short of heaven. Yet I could see his face as clearly as if it were illuminated by the full moon. "You're a long way from home," I said after a while. He laughed and said, "Not really." I drew a silver flask from my breast pockets and slowly removed the cap. I took a swig of the smooth brandy, felt the sweet warmth gliding over my tongue and down my throat. Then, leaning toward him, I offered him the flask. He accepted my hospitality without deliberation and drank deeply enough that I was able to rule out a host of possible identities with that single gesture. "An especially fine brandy," he commented. I noticed that he was reluctant to return my flask. I offered him the cap and he graciously accepted it. "Why this bench?" I asked. "You really don't know, do you?" "I surmise it has something to do with the view." "The view is an illusion. All things are an illusion." "Yes and no." I turned back to watch the pink fading slowly to orange around the towers. "They look like teeth to me," I said. "They are. That is the maw of infinity. At least it is for the next few minutes." "Ah," I purred, understanding at last. "How long has it been?" "I remember men after the deluge, when motherless children wore the skins of lesser brutes, and fashioned words by moonlight, huddling beneath the shelter of overhanging rocks, waiting for the lightning to set something ablaze." I laughed aloud and he joined in. "You pitied them. My folly," he admitted. "You paid dearly for that sin." He took another swig from the flask and offered it to me. I declined and he nodded his thanks. "How many of us have you collected?" he asked. "I do not count. It seems disrespectful." He looked back at me, and his eyes burned another hole through my soul. I felt my entrails ravaged, my mind blasted, and my body shook like a sapling before the raging wind. Stars flashed by me like meteors, and I heard the buzzing of 1,000 angry bees. I trembled for the better part of 5 minutes as the perspiration sucked my shirt against my torso. The clanging of his medallion spinning to a stop beside me on the bench slats broke the spell. For an instant, I saw the sharp incisors bathed in golden glow as he shot well past them, and then I watched the great orange fireball rising languidly above the man-made cliffs at the edge of the sea. When the spasms subsided, I picked up the medallion and placed it in my pocket where the flask had been. I knew his name, but I would not speak it.